This is Ryan Hannigan, and this is my presentation regarding the negotiation for barbecue grills for campgrounds. I was the buyer, and we used email for this negotiation. My first strength was regarding framing. I used an outcome-based framing technique in order to set up two options that were equally beneficial to me. I only gave her these two options to choose from, but made her seem like she had the power in making the final decision on this term of delivery date and payment terms. I did not allow a third option to be brought into the negotiation and stuck with these two alternatives that again were essentially beneficial to me. As you can see in the email, she was hoping for an April delivery date, but I bundled the payment terms with the delivery date and gave her the two options of either a May delivery date with payment in full after 30 days or an April delivery date with payment in full after 6 months. Again, these two options were equally beneficial in point value to me, so I did not really concern myself with which one she chose as long as both options were chosen that were bundled together. The second strength was using a hardball tactic regarding deception and using false bogey terms of exclusivity. I made it seem as I was settling for exclusivity in the eastern United States when this was in actuality my target point all along. I had a higher point value for this exclusivity in just the eastern U.S. versus the entire U.S., but I did frame to her that I was conceding on this issue in order to use this point for leverage later in the negotiation. As you see in the email, we started out talking about this exclusivity, and I said I would love this in the U.S. but would settle for just the eastern U.S. and purchase the 2,000 grills at $400 if they could be delivered in May. Again, I framed it in the sense that I was conceding on this term when actually this was my target point. My first weakness was regarding target and resistance points. I did not stick to my original target and resistance points on the term of number of barbecues purchased. I kept changing this resistance point as the negotiation was ongoing. Originally it was 2,000, but I ended up purchasing 2,500 because I wanted the cheaper price. I was too quick to alter my terms versus trying to figure out her resistance point and target points through more questioning by email. Again, altering my resistance point throughout the negotiation versus standing firm could alter the overall contract at the end of the negotiation. My second weakness was in regards to closing the deal. In this regard, I used distributive negotiation tactics throughout this email negotiation, but even in this case, I felt like towards the end when we were getting close to signing the contract, I could have integrated more terms in order to grow our businesses on both sides. One option I came up with was offering advertising of the barbecues at my campgrounds in exchange for advertising of the campgrounds in their stores. So we'd both be benefiting from these advertising of the other person's product to boost our sales in the future. I felt like I had won the negotiation, so I was too quick to get her to agree to settle on these terms versus exploring more integrative possibilities for future deals and for future marketing plans to help grow both of our businesses in the future. As you can see through the email, I listed out the terms that we had agreed upon and basically asked her if this was okay with her, and she agreed. And that was the end of the negotiation, where we could have continued to talk about how we could continue to grow our businesses in the future. I felt this would have been more beneficial to both of us, and again, this was my second weakness. Thank you for listening to my presentation, and have a great day.